think that's hard to say because I didn't necessarily compare and contrast different Franciscan groups. It was just a certainty once I found the Capuchins and once I came in contact with them and visited a discernment weekend. It was just a certainty that I had found a place where I could live out a relationship with God and foster that relationship and ever more deepen that relationship. And I think that's specifically the goal. I think that's the vocation above all. It's that relationship and deepening and fostering that relationship wherever that may be.
I have to say I never thought I would be a priest. It never occurred to me at one point to be Capuchin, even less Catholic. I moved to Lewiston, Maine, was working with the homeless, and I decided to consider the wealthy Franciscans because of my own contemplative background. I gave a call down to Andover, Massachusetts, not knowing what the difference was between a Franciscan and the other orders. I talked to the vocational director and explained my background. He suggested you might want to consider Capuchins. I said over the phone, who are they? Well, he said, well, you know, there's a parish in Portland, St. Joseph's. So I called them up and I went down for a Sunday Mass. It so happens the vocational director was there. And it would be great to say the rest is history. In a sense it was, but it was been quite a discernment process. Even becoming a postulant, even in studies in post-novitiate formation, I asked for an extra year of discernment, and the question was put to me, Sam, were you a sculptor first or a friar first? And I began the year in September '06 not knowing if I'd still be a Capuchin. And so I had to go deep. And I actually changed my spiritual director, and he simply gave me the space to work this out, and I had a dream. And in the dream, I had to give up the key to the original studio in Wilton, Connecticut. I had to give the key up to the Capuchin order. I have to say, I first balked, and I said to myself, I can't do it. And yet over a month, I realized, okay, I can do this. And that allowed me to move forward, to make solemn vows in '07.
So what I find beautiful about the Capuchins is that there is not one mold that one person has to fit into to become a friar, to become a Capuchin. And that's so awesome. That brings together so many gifts and talents and different personalities.
I was a college chaplain for 9 years, and I worked at St. Joseph's College in Maine. And I found that to be perhaps one of the most amazing times of my life, because these young adults taught me so much about what faith means, how faith works, and how faith is lived on a daily basis. And their enthusiasm and their dedication, and sometimes even their doubts and hesitations, helped me understand how people discover God in different ways at different times in their lives. And this was a wonderful time for me.
The hardest part about being a friar is leaving someplace you've been, whether it's leaving a fraternity or leaving a particular community that you've worked with. And I always find that when that happens, that the feeling I have is one of gratitude. I'm grateful for all the many things that you experience there with the friars and with the people. You share their sadness, you share their joys, if you've been around long enough, and you really, I think, take away so much more than you give in the end. But it happens again and again. And so while it's a very human tendency not to want to leave, I want to stay, just like the people on top of Mount Tabor, they wanted to stay, but we move on. And then when we move on, again, you have I have this sense of gratitude for having so many different experiences with the people I worked with.
In these last couple of years, living out this relationship, experiencing this Capuchin life and deepening my discernment, I've had many beautiful experiences of ministry, really encouraging and challenging experiences in fraternity, in really beautiful experiences in prayer. I think that the thing that has touched me the most is, I think in ministry, finding joy in places and in people where and in whom joy would be the last thing I would expect to find.
When I was studying in Bolivia, about 3 months into that experience, I remember having breakfast with just 3 other friars, and we were having a conversation, and then it dawned on me that none of us are native Spanish-speaking people. One friar was from Italy, one from Austria, one from Poland, and we were all united speaking a different language. And it made me first experience the international order in a way that I hadn't before, but also it really got me in touch with the gospel of Jesus saying, go and preach the gospel to all nations. And that experience of being sent, that my vocation, our Franciscan charism, isn't for ourselves, but it's for the world. And to be sent to share the good news, to share the joy of a life in Christ.